Hi guys, so this is my first impressions video of the Honor Magic V2. I have this since this morning and I already did an unboxing video and shared some really first impressions, and now I spent the day with it, set it all up, but I did not change the start configuration of the home screen so that you can kind of have a first look of how the phone will look when you set it up first. And I have to say, in general, I'm really pleasantly surprised. So I watched a lot of reviews online on many different channels, and the main theme I realized is that most of these reviews don't mention all the little details that are so important for the user experience and for getting a whole picture of this device. Many features and many functions were never mentioned anywhere, and so the whole day I was surprised and found features that are really cool. And some of them I want to introduce in this video. And I have two parts. We're gonna speak about the hardware first, and then we go into the software. And let's start with the hardware first. And this is quite clear because every review stated that this device is exceptionally well built. Build quality is really top notch. This starts with the frame of the device, the front screen, even the back with the artificial leather. I really like it, and I didn't think that I would do. The inner screen is awesome. It has a very minimal crease. I mean, you can see it, but when you use the device and when you have a light background and use the browser, for example, you don't notice the crease, especially when you look on the straight onto the device. And so that's awesome. The hinge is great. Folding and unfolding it is really awesome. So build quality is exceptional. The displays are awesome. They are sharp, they are bright, they are fluid, they are LTPO displays, so they are able to reduce the refresh rate. So everything about the displays is great. And I have to be honest, the aspect ratio, this is really the sweet spot. And it's so good, especially in combination with the thinness of the device, that often I forget that it's a foldable. I mean, this is perfectly usable. You don't realize that you're holding a foldable in your hand, and you use this outer screen for every task. But then when you want to enjoy media, if you want to multitask, if you sit down and want to do something, then you unfold it. And this, I mean, this is how foldables should be. That's really the sweet spot. And this is the huge problem of the Galaxy Z Fold line, because this very narrow screen, which is, at least for me, almost unusable, this is awesome. And when you unfold the device, I mean, it could be that it's new to me and I don't know if this wears out over time, but it's kind of surreal. It's so thin. When you're holding it in your hands, it is not heavy, it's perfectly balanced, and it's just a joy also using one-handed, reading on it, watching media on it, working on it. It's really awesome. Then one minor thing, the global version has an eSIM. So I read in some reviews that only physical SIMs are possible in this device. This global version has an eSIM, so you're just able to load an eSIM profile from your provider and use it with eSIM. And then the camera. And you cannot separate smartphone cameras in terms of hardware and software, because hardware is one thing, but software processing is a huge deciding factor on smartphone and image quality on smartphones. And I mean, I heard and read in reviews that the camera is good and delivers respectable results, but is not on flagship level. And that's right. So I agree, there are better smartphone cameras, of course. But I have to say I was really surprised about the results, because the results are really good. The portrait mode is good, the colors look good, it's fast enough. But I was really surprised because the results are better than I thought. So portrait mode looks good, the different zoom cameras look good, colors are great. So there was not one image today where I thought it's much worse than the OnePlus Open or the Pixel Fold, or I cannot imagine using this camera for my day-to-day photos I take of my little one and stuff I do in my free time. So I was really surprised. Then one point, and this was never mentioned in any review and I was totally blown away by, is the macro mode. This macro mode is just stunning because you are able to get so close to your subject. I was not expecting that you are able to shoot so close to a subject, so close that it almost touches the lens, and the results are, I'm really blown away by it. There's also a super macro mode in the camera app where you kind of can restrict the focusing distance so that it's exclusively focusing in a near distance, so the focus doesn't hunt so much. You can use that, but also when the camera or the phone recognizes that you're getting close to a subject, it will automatically switch lenses and go to the macro mode. And this is so great. And for me, it's important because I like shooting close-ups. I like shooting macros. Okay, another thing about the camera, which I was not sure about, is, I mean, with every foldable, you can use the front screen to preview and use the rear cameras for selfie mode, right? That's a big advantage of foldable smartphones. And with the OnePlus Open, you can slide this button here, so the turn button, and you can, yeah, rotate the preview, and you have it on the front screen. And there were some reviews where they said that there are no controls on the front screen, so you can't use the front screen to get the photo. But as you can see, at least in this version with this software, you have all the controls on the front screen. You can use the volume up button as a shutter, and you can also use the software shutter to shoot a photo. What's missing is really gesture control. So on the Pixel Fold and the OnePlus Open, you are able to just use your hand to set a timer and then shoot a photo. This is not available as of now on the Magic V2, but you can use a smile detect. So when you're smiling, then it will shoot a photo. If you don't want to smile on the photo, then yeah, that's a problem. I would like to have just gesture control to shoot the photo. Then let's speak about the software experience. And also in terms of software, I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, in general, the software is not as feature-rich as a Samsung smartphone or as a OnePlus smartphone. There are far less options you can dive into, and you realize it when you just go to the settings menu, and it's quite a quick process to realize what's available. But the options that are there are quite useful, and I have to say, as of now, I also like the software. Let me just put in my pin, and this starts with little things. I mean, I like these folders, right? You can click on a folder and say shrink, and then you have a normal folder, and you can you can again touch and hold it to enlarge the folder. I really like this because it saves space on the home screen, and you still have many apps available to choose from. This is the same as in the Oxygen OS from OnePlus. I will remove many of these things because these are all, yeah, I have to say bloatware at the end, right? So that's tools, calendar, for example, and the gallery and all the apps that are from Honor, and I don't need them. Again, here you have a tools folder with tools from Honor, but I wanted to show you how the home screen configuration looks out of the box. But this is really cool, and I will definitely use this big folders. Then what I really like is when you swipe down on the home screen, you get to a universal search, so you can just type in the app you want to open, and then it will open. I know this from from the iPhone, and also in the OnePlus Open you can configure the gestures in a way that you come to this universal search, and this is my preferred way of getting to apps that are not on the home screen, so this is cool. I also like that you can swipe left and come to the notification center, and swipe on the right side of the screen to get the control center, and you are also able to switch between control center and notification center. I think this is really clever, and so you have three ways, so three gestures to get where you want to get quite quickly. Then let's come to multitasking. I was a little bit afraid that multitasking is a little bit lackluster on the device, because many reviews, they said multitasking is not very well implemented in the device. But as I already told you in the unboxing video, I think multitasking is perfectly fine on this device. As of right now, my opinion is OnePlus with the open canvas and the ability to get 3 apps side by side is really the king of multitasking. I mean, for me, that's the best implementation of multitasking on a foldable. But here on the Magic V2, it's perfectly fine. So let me show you how it works. You can open, of course, the app from the taskbar, and then many said a problem is that there is no taskbar that you can swipe up so that you can use a second app for multitasking. It's a little bit hidden. So this is a gesture. You can swipe from the side and hold, and then you get this quick access bar where you can configure which apps are shown in the panel, in the side panel, but you are also able to launch every app from this sidebar. Now you have two options. You can press and hold an app and move it, right? So, and then you can move it to the other side of the screen, and then you can resize it by clicking in the middle, and you can also, by using the handle here on top, you can also exchange them, right? You see this is handle on the top here. And you can also click the handle to make the app full screen, and you can also click this button to make the app into a floating window. These floating windows are also quite cool because you can move them out of the way. You see this small handle here. When you click it, you get the floating window back. You can also resize the window, and now it will stick to the edges of the screen. You can also then resize the floating window, make it bigger. And this is a little bit, at least for me, difficult because you kind of have to get or hit the right point in the edge. And you can also resize it and make it full screen. So there's a lot of opportunity. You can get a floating window by tapping this symbol here. You can close it. But now let's get back into the two apps side by side view, and they also appear in the overview. You have browser and YouTube, for example. And then you can use the sidebar to launch a floating window, for example, the calculator. You can move the floating window wherever you want it to be. And now you can also launch another app, Atomic Clock for example, and as you can see, this also becomes a floating window. You can resize them, you can close them again. So I think this is very awesome because I often need an app for a very short time to copy a password or to order something from Amazon, for example. And this allows me to do this. What I did not try is to now open a third floating window. So let's see what happens. Let's launch the Atomic Clock. Okay, so that's cool because now the calculator is here. Yeah, so you can launch the floating window from here and they will just exchange and rotate through. So in principle you have two visible floating windows and one is hidden. Let's do the extreme and launch another app. For example, something without any personal data. Yeah, banking app, of course. So let's open X, for example. Okay. Wow. So this is really cool. Did not expect that. You can open, it seems like you can open a lot of floating windows and they will they will all be in this new sidebar. You have the handle here and then you have all the apps you opened and you can just switch them through. Visible are only two, but the other are still there and you can open and close them from this view. This is cool. So I think you get the point. Multitasking is perfectly fine on the Magic V2. You can have two apps side by side, you can exchange them, you can close one, make it bigger, whatever, and you are also able to launch these floating windows and even multiple floating windows, and the ones that are closed will be put into this sidebar. Again, a surprise, and this sidebar I just found out. I didn't try to use multiple floating windows before, so it's really okay to multitask on the Magic V2. Software is good. Then what I always try with foldables is tent mode and clamshell mode. So you have a video on the inner screen or the outer screen, and then when you fold the device and you stand it up on the table, then it will launch tent mode and the video is visible on the front display. And the same is true if you're using laptop or clamshell mode. So if you put it on a table like this, also then the video will continue playing on the front screen. This is dependent on the gyroscope in the device. So when you pick it up or move it, then it will switch to the inner display. And this is sometimes a little bit tricky because it changes orientation and stuff, but it works. And so I'm really happy because this is important for me because I use foldable smartphones a lot when in these configurations. And last but not least, this is a very minor thing. I was surprised that the keyboard that is pre-installed is Microsoft SwiftKey. So it seems like Honor has no proprietary keyboard installed. And I think that's funny because you have all these separate email, calendar, stuff like this apps, but no Honor keyboard. And I don't like SwiftKey, to be honest. So the first thing I did is to install Gboard. And then you also have the split screen or the split keyboard for when you use the inner screen. So that's all fine. And yeah, that's how I configured the device until now. I will now start to remove all the Honor apps I don't need and replace them with the Google apps or other apps I use. And I will also set up the home screen in a way I'm accustomed to. Okay, that's it. To sum it all up, I'm really happy with this device. And this could be a problem, honestly, because the other foldables, the OnePlus Open and the Pixel Fold, they will definitely get less use time in the upcoming month, because honeymoon will be strong with the Magic V2 for sure. And you can expect more videos about the Magic V2 and also comparing it against the OnePlus Open, the Pixel Fold, or the S24 Ultra, for example. And I'm really looking forward to put them side by side, especially seeing how the camera performs in these devices. This will definitely take some time to produce and test, but they will be coming. And I also plan to produce some videos about software quirks and go a little bit into detail, showing you the macro mode and stuff like this. So I hope it was clear that I really like the device. And yes, of course, you have to take all this with a little bit grain of salt. I mean, this is the first day receiving the device after waiting for over a week for DHL to deliver it. So of course I'm hyped at the moment, but I think I'm objective enough to judge the device in the right way. So that'll be all. Thanks for watching. See you in one of my next videos. Until then, take care and bye.